The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Is Aaron Rodgers out for revenge on Sunday against Sean Payton and the Broncos? He was asked about that and gave an interesting answer. Are we buying it? We'll talk about that and much more with one of our favorite guests. Kevin Sirkin from Let's Talk Jets joins us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Happy Football Friday, but I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the New York Yankees for winning the American League East last night. So I got my Yankee camo hat on and my t-shirt to celebrate that. Next step, let's win the whole damn thing, baby. And I'm going to London next week for Jets Vikings, and I just realized there's a good chance I'm staying up till like 3, 4 in the morning to watch some Yankee playoff games when I'm there. But that's an aside note. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now to talk all things New York Jets is Kevin Sirkin from Let's Talk Jets on YouTube. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning. You're going to bring me on rocking Yankee stuff? Come on, let's go Mets.
Look, big series for you guys this weekend. Maybe a doubleheader on Monday. You know, handle your business, and we'll see you in the Subway World Series.
Hope so. I'm actually glad we avoided Atlanta because that's the one thorn in my side, like the Patriots for the Jets. So I'm glad we avoided them at least until the final two.
Yeah, I totally get it. That's how I feel as a Yankee fan about the possibility of seeing the Astros in the playoffs once again. So no doubt about that. Before we get into some Jet topics and talk about Aaron Rodgers, just a reminder, if you're in the area, if you're going to the Denver game on Sunday, if you're coming from out of town, I'll be hanging out with Green Bean, Ryan, and Matt at Pioneers right in Chelsea tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's a great spot. It's right near Penn Station. You can walk there if you take the train in. So looking forward to hanging out with a bunch of great Jet fans tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Kevin, as far as this game goes on Sunday, look, to me, it's a game that the Jets simply have to win. They're a 7.5 point favorite. They come in with 10 days rest. They're facing a rookie quarterback who they should be able to, quite frankly, confuse and dominate at times. I see no reason why the New York Jets don't win, and I don't know if it will be as big of a bloodbath as last Thursday was against New England, but there's no reason why at the end of the day the Jets don't win, and I think they should win by at least 2 scores.
I saw the stat about Rodgers. I think 13-0 in home games with the extra rest. Like you said, there's no reason riding high off that win Thursday night, which was just a magical night that fans have been waiting for. You got your franchise quarterback just slinging it around all over the place. You got your offensive line just bodying guys up everywhere, 7 sacks. It just seems like this team is riding way too high to overlook a team like the Broncos. So I think they're really talented. I think the 7.5 is way too much, to be honest.
Yeah, it does kind of surprise you when you see the Jets favored by that much. It's the most they've been favored by since
10 years, I think.
Yes, it's the 2015 season with Fitzpatrick. They played the Jaguars, and I saw that they were a 7.5 point favorite, but they only won by 5. It was 28-23. I don't really remember if there was like a backdoor cover involved in that. I just remember the Jets winning.
The Flyer game, if I remember right.
I don't remember
running that one.
I'm not sure.
Someone in the chat will help me out on that one.
So someone will look that up. But to your point, Denver does have a good defense. I think when you look at what they did last week against Tampa, I put that more on that being a Todd Bowles special that we as Jet fans know all too well than anything else. And you tell me if I'm wrong here. I actually like the fact that Denver got their win out of the way last week because I think that helps the Jets refocus this week coming off that mini bye and not take the Broncos lightly.
No, absolutely. An 0-3 Broncos team would be much more dangerous. I think they got their win out of the way, and there's ways to beat this team. I mean, Bo Nix will turn the ball over a little bit. I worry a little bit about their run defense. It's pretty solid. They can get after the quarterback a little bit too. So I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. But at the end of the day, the Jets are still better in the trenches, and they have the better quarterback, obviously. And I think that's going to be the difference.
No doubt about it. If you're watching the show live, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel as well by hitting the subscribe button on the right-hand side of your screen. And if you have a take on this game, write it in the chat right now or the comment section. Your prediction, a bold prediction, could be score-related, matchup-related, and we'll read some of the best ones throughout the course of the stream. Bold predictions for Jets-Broncos Sunday at 1 o'clock at Jet Life. And, Kevin, how about this? This is the last 1 o'clock Jets home game until December 1st. Enjoy it, Jet fans. This might be the last sunny, nice day, right before kind of like the chilly fall weather starts to come into effect. Enjoy it because there aren't games like this till December.
I don't mind it, honestly. The atmosphere at MetLife for those night games is just absolutely incredible. I mean, for all that we rip about MetLife, what they do for those night games has really been special, especially, with Rodgers coming back now. The electricity in that building Thursday night was just awesome. I think it's going to be even 10 times that for Buffalo, especially if the Jets are riding high, 4-game winning streak for that one coming up in 2 weeks. I think that's going to be a huge game too.
100%. And I think if the Jets could go into that game 4-1 somehow, it just, the atmosphere is going to be,
nuts.
I mean, it'd be great regardless, but if they're 4-1 and the Bills are 4-1, let's say, because they got a difficult schedule the next two, I mean, you talk about, an epic crowd, playoff level crowd. That's what it's going to be.
Yep.
No doubt. As far as Sean Payton goes, right? Obviously, at this time a year ago, so much was made about Jets Broncos and revenge for the comments Sean Payton made. And that game lost some luster with Rodgers not playing it after he ripped Sean Payton publicly for the comments Payton made ripping Nathaniel Hackett. So Rodgers earlier this week was asked about Sean Payton and if he has that on his mind, if he has revenge on his mind Sunday against the Broncos.
No, that's old news. We've all said things that we'd like to take back. Some things have been said and taken out of context, I'm sure, from time to time. But I honestly haven't thought about it till you just brought it up.
Are we buying that? Because this is a guy who remembers every slight and uses it as motivation. He's downplaying it publicly. Is it a factor, though, privately for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers?
Like you said, he's going to downplay it to the media, but behind the scenes, any little thing that he can use to motivate himself, he's going to do it. The whole keep my coach's name out your mouth comment, he doesn't forget things like that. So absolutely, if the Jets are in position like they were Thursday night to be throwing the ball up 3 scores in the fourth quarter, I definitely expect them to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the end all be all for Aaron Rodgers to get revenge, but I definitely think there's a little extra hey, if we got a chance to, take another shot downfield to get another score, they're willing to do it. I mean, the Jets tried to downplay it last year too, and then there was video right before the game kicked off of CJ Uzomah breaking down the huddle saying F their coach and screaming about it. So I do think
collectively, I think there's enough leadership though, where there's obviously a much greater goal for this season. It's not about beating Sean Payton this year. It's still about winning a Super Bowl. But yeah, if you can run it up on him and kind of dig in there a little bit, absolutely, you go for it.
Look, motivation comes however you can get it. I mean, Michael Jordan used to come up with fake slights just to try and motivate himself.
Yeah.
So I just think it's in the back of Aaron Rodgers' mind. I don't know if he needs that to go out there and play well. I think he'll play well regardless, but I do think if there's an opportunity to get an extra score here or there, I think they'll look to do it.
He's got enough motivation coming from every which way with, the comment about the locker room disarray and everything else. I mean, the guy's plenty motivated at 40 years old also to try to go out a winner, to bring a championship to New York. This guy's got a massive chip on his shoulder regardless of Payton.
No doubt. And as far as Rodgers goes, are you expecting another big-time performance Sunday? I mean, what we got last Thursday, for any long-time suffering Jet fan was otherworldly. Is that the norm now, or are we going to see, the MVP version of Rodgers?
I hope so. It was so fun. I think that's the formula, though, passing on early downs, allowing him to open up the run game, which, we've kind of seen now 2 weeks in a row. Once the defense has to back up and respect the passing game a little bit, we see those lanes open up for Brees. We see Braylon getting involved, and teams are still taking away Garrett. He still hasn't had his breakout game yet. You had Conklin with 90+ yards. Lazard's playing well. Mike Williams is playing well. You got Ruckert involved. So like just the way that he's spreading it around right now is perfect. But I still think that big game is coming from Garrett within the next week or two.
What do you make of, people saying, well, Garrett's not a number one because he's not dominating against number one corners? And I simply say, I mean, one, it's 3 games. We heard about how the Jets didn't get the tight ends involved the first 2 weeks. One of the tight ends going to get involved. And then Tyler Conklin goes for, a career high in receiving yards. So I think it's still early. People want like instant gratification. That's just the society we live in. And 2, like, it just takes time for Rodgers to sometimes get on the same page with his receivers due to how complex the offense is. Like, look at Allen Lazard having a career renaissance. That's because he's played with Aaron Rodgers. Like, once Garrett and Rodgers get more reps together, it's going to come. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, they're still getting their chemistry down, and teams are still pretty much doubling him. So, when you're getting those one-on-one matchups with Conklin and Mike Williams and even Brees out of the backfield, putting a linebacker on him is crazy. So you could take advantage of those mismatches and until Garrett has his breakout game, which, again, I still think is coming soon.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, as the show was starting, Dre decided to make it rain 5 channel memberships. Let's go, John Gruden.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Yeah, we all love Fireman Ed. I know Kevin loves Fireman Ed doing his
we got him a birthday. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun last week. I can't believe, that was, 8 days ago already, man. It's just crazy.
It's flying. I can't believe Nashville was 2 weeks ago. Him rocking rooftop bars back then. I mean, it was unbelievable there. Every single bar, restaurant we went into, just rocking Jet chants, and it was crazy. See a
Jet fan takeover.
Unbelievable.
Dre gifted 5 to Shadow Realm, Frank L, Michael, Moneyflow, Will M. They are all channel members. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I noticed Tom Ace wrote in that he feels naked without a membership, and Edgemos, his membership expired. If you gift Tom Ace a channel membership, we're sending you an item in the Jake Asman merch store. We got to do right by our big time as maniacs. Valen with a super chat. Prime is one of the best. Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate you, Valen. Thank you, man.
Valen, thanks for tuning in. Good to get Kevin back on the show. Some of the other storylines with this Jets team right now, the latest with Reddick seemingly being, is there anything? They had 10 days to get something done after the Jets won last Thursday. There's been nothing in that department. There's been only speculation by some who cover the team that he's not going to play for the Jets ever. Where are you at with Hassan Reddick? Because it feels like if it didn't happen now, why would I have any faith in this ever happening?
Well, I don't know if the relationship is soured past the point of anything getting done at this point, but at least for me, my perspective has kind of changed over the last 2 weeks, where I absolutely hate the way he's gone about his holdout. I hate to reward a player like that. But the Jermaine Johnson injury, that absolutely changes things, not just for this year, but looking ahead to next year. You don't know if he's going to be 100%, what kind of lingering effects, if there's any issues with rehab and all that. But also Aaron Rodgers slinging it around the way he did Thursday confirms we should be all in. Like, this is a win now team. And if you could add a top flight pass rusher when you just lost Huff and JFM, and now you lost Jermaine Johnson, I almost feel like I viewed the trade initially as a 1-year stopgap, but now it kind of makes sense for the Jets if they could do it financially, if the numbers make sense, to get a 2 or 3 year extension done.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It just, I don't know if it's going to happen. In fact, I've had this opinion now. I think it's more likely Devontae Adams plays for the Jets than Hassan Reddick.
That's the one exception. If you could take his cap space and bring in a Devontae Adams or a Max Crosby or somebody else, then obviously you completely jump on that. You cut him, you trade him for a 6th or 7th round draft pick, whatever you have to do. But unless you're replacing him with another impact player, this is still a win now year, and he's one of the best pass rushers out there.
Yeah, I just wonder if you even if you eventually work something out and he shows up, like, how long is it going to take for him to resemble the Hassan Reddick that the Eagles got the last couple of years?
Well, you'd have to at least give him an abbreviated training camp, probably ease him in with reps, the first 3 or 4 weeks that he's out there. I think the goal would ultimately be for, late December and then into January in the playoffs to have him at 100%.
No doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what has gotten into Dre this morning, but he's in a giving mood. How about another 5 channel memberships from Dre? Let's go, baby.
Money.
All right, here we go. The following 5 listeners are now channel members: Clutch City Nation, Orlando Vega, Anthony DeRizzi, O-Rocks Games, Joey Bad. You are all as maniacs. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on gift receipts by clicking on Dre's name there. and you perhaps will become an official as Maniac. Kyle Clifton with a super chat here. Don't believe it. Rodgers stalks Payton. I think if this is last year, it is clearly a huge motivating factor. I'm not saying it's not a factor this time around, but I don't think it means nearly as much because the Jets went there last year and they already won with Zach Wilson.
I'm sure it's in the back of his mind because he didn't play last year. But again, they all have greater goals than just beating Sean Payton.
No doubt. Dre with a super chat here. He says Jets 34, Broncos 3. Rodgers 250 plus, 3 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson 8 for 122 and a touchdown. Mike Williams 80 plus yards and a touchdown. Brees 150 yards rushing and a touchdown. Braylon,
I'm making that a
plus
parlay.
yards. This would be one of the greatest offensive performances in Jets history if this all happens.
That's a beautiful same game parlay right there.
Oh, man. Jay wants to know, is Zach Wilson going to be active for this game? Well, he's the emergency quarterback, so 2 people would have to go down for him to even be allowed to play.
I'd like to see him out there.
Me too. But by the way, this matchup just kind of really sheds light on last year's quarterback debacle for the Jets. Zach Wilson's a third stringer right now. Tim Boyle was on a practice squad and now is only going to be probably the backup on Sunday in Miami because 2 quarterbacks got hurt in front of him. And think about Trevor Siemian, who actually had a winning record last year as the starter, 2-1. He's not even in the league, and this Jets team won 7 games a year ago.
That's where very, very slowly Coach Saleh is starting to earn a little bit of my respect because when you look across the defense, I mean, every single year you got players that are overachieving, that are developing. You got Sherwood right now. You got McDonald right now. So, I mean, like, he's been doing all this without a quarterback. So, like, to his credit, he's had these teams very competitive every year. I know they collapsed down the stretch each of the last 2 years, but again, they've been doing that without a quarterback. You had Hackett completely changing the offense last year, trying to dumb it down for Zach, who would hold on to the ball 4 or 5 seconds. So it was a complete mess. You see the difference now with Rodgers and how quick he gets rid of the ball. It's night and day.
And to be fair to Hackett, and I get it, Rodgers is going to get all the credit, but I think Hackett's been pretty good the last 2 games. I like the pony package. I like seeing how last week them come out and, as you talked about, throw to eventually set up the run. Like there's been some things that I think, Rodgers obviously makes it all work, but he has that relationship with Rodgers, and that's your job as a coach. If you have an all-time great, support him, build that that relationship, and get the most out of that guy. And obviously, Rodgers feels like he's all the way back now.
No, absolutely. I mean, just hitting guys in stride, allowing Lazard, especially on that touchdown, just the way he gets rid of the ball so quickly, putting it in his receiver's hands. They have time to make a move. They have time to get the yards after catch. It just makes the offense look completely different.
Bold takes coming through. Dalt says Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns. Now, that would be nice. All right. A 4-touchdown game.
I don't think so, though.
King of Kings says, I think Mike Williams is a big week this week. He's starting to get loose. I could see it because I think Sirkin will be on Garrett most of the game, which I think if Mike Williams is up for it, he's going to get a lot of targets.
I think Garrett's breakout game is you're going to see that one live in London. I think that's going to be his breakout game. This week, I think it's still going to be a lot more of Conklin, a lot of Mike Williams, a lot of Brees out of the backfield.
Nick W says, I was just watching John Gruden's breakdown for this game. Their quarterback has no passing touchdowns and the leading rusher at 107. Yeah, Bo Nix, look, he hasn't thrown a passing touchdown yet. He has 1 rushing touchdown on the season. It came last week, and he is their leading rusher. There's really no excuse for the Jets to not win this game. It's Aaron Rodgers versus a rookie, and the Jets are home and have 10 days to prepare.
That is the one thing that worries me a little bit. The Jets historically with Saleh tended to kind of lose control of the gaps a little bit, and quarterbacks have had some big runs against them. So definitely have some kind of spy or something on Knicks.
Yep, I think
his arms, and I don't trust their weapons either. So
exactly, and I think you blitz more like they did last week. You trust your corners and man coverage, and you create some pressure on a rookie who's probably not going to be adjusted to all the different looks the Jets could potentially throw at him.
Yeah, Sauce can contain Sutton one-on-one. Reynolds, I'm not too worried about. So their weapons don't scare me at all.
Dre with a super chat. I guess Dre got paid today. It's payday for Dre Correa. Thank you, Dre. You're the best. This is why I cannot have productive conversations with JJ and other Saleh haters. Our backup quarterbacks last year are either emergency quarterbacks or not playing. Yeah, I mean, I've said this, and I'm not trying to make Robert Saleh like Vince Lombardi, but I think the idea that he's this terrible coach when the locker room never splintered, the defense played great basically all year despite nothing. Now we're seeing what this defense can do when they get a lead. The Jets are first in the NFL in pressure percentage right now after they lost Jermaine, without Reddick, without Huff, obviously. The guy could coach defense. He's got a hell of a staff he hired there.
No, every single player has overachieved or outpaced their contract. I mean, DJ Reed, that was a phenomenal signing. I mean, every single player is doing a great job on that defense. So you got to give solid credit for that. I think each of the last 2 years, you can make an argument they were playoff teams if they had just an average quarterback.
Right. Yeah, I believe 2 years ago they were a playoff team if Mike White never got hurt. I think they find a way to win that Lion or Jaguar game, and they sneak in. And I mean, last year, I mean, we lived it. Like if they just had, like, let's say instead of historically bad quarterback play, if it was just like slightly bad, like they probably win 2 or 3 more games and get in.
Sad.
It is. Now we have Aaron Rodgers at
Yes.
quarterbacks. C. Lamb writes, and what's the over-under that JFM gets a sack and Zach throws a touchdown? I mean, Zach's not getting in this game, unfortunately. JFM getting a sack, I mean, he could. He got his first sack of the season last week. Denver had 7 sacks on Tampa last week. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact, like, the Bucs were behind, right? Like, the game script completely flipped. Like, what the Jets want to do to Denver is what Denver actually was able to do to Tampa.
Yeah, I don't worry about Zach at all throwing a touchdown. That's not going to happen. JFM, he might get a pressure too, but I trust this offensive line. They've been creating walls in front of Rodgers. What are your thoughts on Olu playing right tackle?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that. I mean, look, I love Rodgers comparing him to DeBrickashaw. Just everything we've seen from Olu and have heard about him from teammates or coaches has been incredibly positive. This is why I was pro offensive line the entire way this offseason. But like, I expect Olu to play well. Like, I don't think he's going to be a liability, even if he's just average. You sign for that right now because Rodgers will make adjustments. They'll get the ball out quick. He's got AVT right there helping him. Like, I think they're in a good spot.
That's why I'm really glad they got him those reps at right tackle in preseason and training camp. It made sense.
I mean, this O-line has been light years better than anything we've seen since at least 2015 so far.
Yes, easily.
And by the way, how great was the reception for Tyron Smith when he came out of the tunnel last week? Jet fans went crazy.
Yep. Rodgers.
Dre. Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
I just said Rodgers' reception was even better. I mean, that was
amazing.
Long overdue. At midfield. Yep. Love it.
Dre with the super chat. We might have made the playoffs on 111 games if we would have gone to the Wildcat formation every offensive play with Brees last year. They'd have a better chance.
We already matched our touchdown total from last year by week 11, I think it was.
Correct.
Right? That's unbelievable.
I think the Jets had 18 total offensive touchdowns last year, and they have 9 already in 3 games.
Incredible.
It's just
like the quarterback and an offensive line.
That's it. It's everything. And but non-Jet fans don't get it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you guys are you're really excited you beat the Patriots. It's like, I don't think you understand. Like, not only did they destroy the Patriots, who we despise more than any other team because they've done that exact thing to us for 20 years, but we have had such not bad, historically bad quarterback play. So to not only win that way, but be led by a guy who's won 4 MVPs and look like that guy now, it changes everything. And the coffee tastes better. You sleep better. Life is better. Everything Fireman Ed said a week ago on the show. I've been thinking about it. So true.
So amazing. Such a great feeling. It, like you said, it absolutely changes everything because in the past, anytime we'd have one of these wins, like I was talking to Tyson on Monday, we went at it last year after the Jets beat the Eagles because I was miserable. The team was 6-3 or 6. I forget what the record was at the time.
They were 3-3 after that game. Yeah, they were 3-3.
Okay, well, whatever it was, everybody was riding high after we had just beaten the Eagles. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, what is the ceiling for this team with Zach Wilson at quarterback when we still can't put up touchdowns? Like, I hated to be that guy, but that was just reality for that team. Walking out of that building on Thursday, there were no what ifs, there were no but this. Like, no, you have your franchise quarterback playing at an elite level, showing that he's still got it. You got a brick wall in front of him with your offensive line. You got 2 great running backs. You got your defense flying high. Like, this is a team that's built to go win a Super Bowl right now. And I don't think I've been able to say that since they've been in this building.
It's crazy. It really is. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Reminder to join the Patreon. If you haven't, you'll get 15% off every item in the merch store. You'll get bonus shows. You'll be able to get your name added to the intro. We're going to update the list of names coming up after this weekend. So make sure you sign up and join if you want your name added. Big shout out to Andrew, Michael, and Jesse, our 3 most recent Patreon subscribers. And I should mention this: Discord access, baby, where the Jet conversation never ends. And if you're going to London or any away game, we have a channel curated for people to link up and make plans accordingly. So especially for those Asmaniacs going to London next week, definitely join my Discord and keep track of different things going on for Jet fans in attendance. All right, let's get to some more comments here. Then we'll mix in some calls with Kevin Sirkin from Let's Talk Jets Radio. Randall says, JFM roughing the passer on Rodgers. I could say, look, I don't want anyone touching Rodgers, but if there were to be a roughing call on JFM, it would finally be nice to benefit from it.
We did get the Carl Lawson offsides last night, so.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. JFM owes this one.
By the way, Giant fans, there's just no energy in that building, man. And like it's crazy. Like you're playing a division rival. There's more Cowboy fans there, it sounded like on TV.
They knew it was going to happen, though.
Yep. They did.
They made it a lot closer than I thought it would be, but.
David writes in bold prediction, Jets put both running backs out wide from the pony pack. That would be a new look. You go empty with Allen and Brees on the field. Let's see. David writes in, would it be more revenge / disrespect to put in the backups? Quarterback Taylor, for example. I mean, if you're blowing them out, I would obviously take Rodgers out and protect them.
No, absolutely. I'd still give him a drive or two. Up big fourth quarter. Let him run it up a little bit, and then throw Tyrod in there last like 10 minutes or so. Just
be super careful. Nothing, to hold on to the ball, get it out. Rich writes in, great show. Hit the like. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate your support there. Pittsburgh Mike says, I need a Sauce pick 6 this weekend bad. That would be nice for Sauce to get his first career pick 6 with Surtain on the other side, I
would like to see this defense get a few more takeaways. It's kind of like that next step that I'd like to see them get to.
I feel like this is a game they could do it because you're facing a rookie. You had 10 days to get ready for him. Like, he's not going to be able to throw on the Jet secondary. I don't see it. So if you get a 2-score lead and you take them out of their element where they're going to have to try and throw to play catch up, that's where the turnovers and mistakes happen.
I just hope they keep that formula with continuing to blitz like they did on Thursday night, because Saleh is typically a rush 4 guy. They kind of broke the mold a little bit Thursday. I hope they keep that going.
Terrence says, Olu will not be giving up that starting spot. We could save Smith and Moses for the end of the season. I don't know if I buy that, but what are your thoughts on Olu playing so well that Morgan Moses is then the 6th man?
I don't think that would happen. I would think they would still bring Moses back, although I'm a little bit surprised they're not putting him on IR. I know Saleh said it's going to be a couple weeks, but not enough to be 4 weeks. I mean, if it's going to be 2 or 3, and especially if Olu's playing well, I mean, I don't see any urgency to rush it. You still have Carter Warren, Max Mitchell that you can throw in there if it does get really bad. So I would personally take my time with him.
Matt writes in, 2-score lead, pushes Jake Asman. Look, if Aaron Rodgers wants to shove me after getting a 2-score lead on Sunday, I'd be happy to volunteer.
It was so funny how that was like almost every headline in like the 3 hours right after the game. Like I was on ESPN, I was on SNY, every single website. That was like the one headline from that game. It was just
because they couldn't LOL Jets for the on-field performance for once, so they had to find something. And I watched one Jets drive last night. The Jets themselves even posted the clip. They have Rodgers walking back into the locker room. The first guy he hugs and is smiling with is Robert Saleh. So he eventually got that hug from Saleh.
Yeah, it was a miscommunication. Saleh sometimes does the two-handed shove when he's excited. They got crossed up a little bit.
Yep. I mean, and it's just what a nothing burger that was. Good God.
And I also like the fact that he's trying to like keep the focus on the game. Like, hey, 2 scores is nothing right now. Like, we want to put this team away. We want to step on their necks and put them away. So I like
step on their necks.
That's what you got to
do. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, phone lines are open. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, if you indeed want in on the conversation. Our first caller today is someone, Kevin, that you and Tyson over at Let's Talk Jets know very well.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To this republic? To the republic.
So he was making me doing it. He was making me do it on the fly, so it's not like.
I only see half your face.
Sorry, here. Let me adjust the camera. Better.
There you go.
There you go. What's up?
I'm doing good. Man, this is gonna be a great game to watch. This.
Can you lower the cartoon volume in the background?
Sorry, my mother's watching MASH in the background. It's like she's watching it on her phone. So yeah, no, that better?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, no. So no, I feel like with Rodgers is, of course, he think he wants to personally do it. Personally, send a message to Sean Payton. I think personally wants to send a message. I mean, yes, the Jets got their payback for his comments, but we all know that. What's the OC's name right now? It's like literally blanking in my brain.
Nate Hackett.
Nate Hackett. We all know Nate Hackett is Aaron Rodgers' buddy, so he has to personally avenge his buddy.
I would like to think so.
Yeah, no, so yeah, that's what I think. And with this game, I'm not really worried about Denver because, like I said, because they already had their, they already had their surprise win, where they got the jump on a team. Like they already got the jump on Tampa, and that was their surprise win. So, you're going to be more. It's more dangerous to play a winless team that's hungry for that first win than it is to play a team that's already gotten that first win.
All right. B-Man, what's on the agenda this weekend?
Not much really. I'm gonna nothing really. Just probably gonna stay home, relax, watch the game. Maybe do some baking for my grandfather.
What are we baking?
I'm baking a traditional Puerto Rican pan sobao. It's a Puerto Rican
Shocking.
Well, no, because that's what he asked for. I asked him because he's in a nursing home. They don't really give him bread or anything, so it's like I asked him. So we asked him if he wanted bread, and he said, "Yeah." He said, "Bread and coffee." So I asked him what kind.
Getting a different kind of baked.
So I asked him what kind of bread did he want. I said, "You want a pan sobao, which is water bread, or pan de or pan no pan sobao is lard bread, or
of course
pan de agua." So
Let me ask you this.
And he said pan sobao.
Why don't they have bread in the nursing home? Is bread illegal for the olds?
Like I don't know. It's just the diet they have him on. I guess it's just like rarely he might get a bagel or something like that.
Rarely. We got to change that. We got to start sending, VPA some bagels.
I thought it might be like a choking hazard.
No, he's got no problem eating it.
No. All right.
That's just the diet they have him on. It's like it's just like he misses waking up in the morning, having you always have his coffee, then he'd have a piece of buttered bread, and that was always his morning, part of his morning routine.
I see.
Yeah, no. So
All right,
I'm gonna bake it for him.
Well, enjoy the baking, and then I know you'll get baked after that. Thanks for the time.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Where V-Man said he was baking, I thought the same thing you did.
That's the first thing that went in my mind. I'm like, yep. Typical Sunday for V-Man.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Another quick reminder, this show you're watching is now available on both Apple or Spotify after the YouTube show is done. So if you want the show in audio form, you can find it on both of those podcast platforms. Open phone lines, once again, for those who want in on the conversation. We got a super chat here from Dre who says, time of possession, Jets 70 minutes, Broncos 10 minutes. That would have to be an NFL record, no?
Have to be. That'd be amazing.
70 minutes. Now the Jets became the first team. By the way, there's not 80 minutes in a football game.
Yes.
There's 60 minutes.
It says -10.
Oh, is that what that means? Yeah, but he wrote -70 minutes, Broncos -10 minutes.
I assume that was a -10 to make it a positive 60.
I guess a -10 would make sense. Then he also wrote negative. Look, I'm an idiot. All right, I can't do math to save my life, but this doesn't make any sense. But I love it.
It's got to be 7.
The math is not math here.
That'll be 60.
Sign me up. I mean, the Jets had it for 40 minutes last Thursday, which was insane. So,
and last year against Denver too, I think they had it like 35 or 36 minutes.
Yeah, they had 400 plus yards of offense last year. They should have really killed Denver more than they did.
They were losing at halftime though last year. So.
Yeah, remember Zach Wilson didn't know how to manage the 2-minute drill. They got no points at the end of that drive. Tommy says playing 80 minutes is equal to playing 110%.
I thought we only do 60%.
Man, what a comment. Super chat here from Hennessy. Maybe Saleh is upset about the unexcused absence. Yeah, Kevin, do you ever think how much better Rodgers would have played last Thursday if he went to minicamp in June those 2 days?
Right? Made a huge difference, right?
Oh, man. Crazy.
I'm sure there's some people that still blame that on the San Francisco game.
I'm sure.
The slow start and
Pittsburgh Mike says, can we get V-Man to say he loves America? Technically, the Jets are in New York, which is in the United States. So good luck with that one.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Everardo says, we need to schedule an intervention for V-Man. V-Man's just living life.
He's living the dream.
How long has he been a regular caller on your show?
About 3 or 4 years, I think.
Love it.
Right around COVID or a little bit after, I think.
Let's see. Benny writes in, expect more Conklin and Lazard. I got them each catching a touchdown, 31-17 statement game. I mean, I could see each catching a touchdown for sure. Conklin hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 seasons. I'd like to get him in the end zone. Actually, no, did he have the touchdown from Tyrod? I forget.
I don't think so. No, that was Lazard.
Lazard had the second one. You're right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Conklin get in the end zone, get rewarded for his efforts.
I could see Conklin and Mike Williams getting one.
Mike Williams.
Lazard's going to cool off a little bit.
Every week, I have bet Mike Williams anytime touchdown scorer. I got to keep it rolling again this week. It's going to happen.
Or just don't do it this week and then enjoy when he does score.
Yeah. Be like, but the 1 week I didn't bet it.
Yeah. That'll be when he scores.
Curly says, when we say something negative about the coach, we're delusional. But if people predict an 80-minute football game, they're optimists. LOL. Curly, if you know Dre, let him be Dre. You can't be upset that Dre wrote the Jets are going to have the ball for 70 minutes. You have to enjoy it.
I like it.
And when you say something negative about the coach, you tend to lean overly negative. That's the difference. No one's saying Saleh is Vince Lombardi, but can we at least see how it plays out? Like, can we give them more than 3 games? You know, they're 2-1 right now, you know.
I was ready to fire him that first quarter of the Titan game. I'm not going to lie. I think there, right behind the Jets bench, and I'm just watching him go sideline to sideline, not talking to anybody. I was ready to lose it. So thankfully they won that game, got it figured out on Thursday night. So now I'm feeling good about him again.
KJ says, well, Conklin that wide open in the end zone last year when Zach didn't throw to him. Yes, in that Denver game, Zach completely missed him when they were in the red zone. Completely missed him. He was wide open.
One of many.
Like, those were examples I gave last year when, like, everyone was killing Hackett. And I'm like, I get it. He's probably not a great offensive coordinator, but when you go through the all 22 and you see guys open and the quarterback can't get him the ball, like you can only do so much as the play caller.
Exactly. And they were already trying to completely change things on the fly to suit whatever it was that Zach Wilson did well. So it was just a nightmare scenario. It's hard to put too much blame on him, although he was pretty terrible.
R&R says, I will always remember Kevin being Gase with the jackass head on.
Those were very low times on Let's Talk Jets radio.
Did you dress up as Adam Gase? I don't remember this.
Yes, that was when our credentials got stripped away. There's a very funny story that we can share off the air about that, but yeah.
That's good. Do you think Gase saw it?
Possibly. I don't know. It's very possible. Yeah.
Matt says, Mike Williams doesn't look quite full speed yet. Couple more weeks and look out for. Yeah, I think each game will get a little better and better. He's playing more each game. I mean, the one thing he hasn't lost is the ability to make those contested catches. Like we continue to see him.
Was beautiful.
Yep. The 2nd and 16 at the game you're at in Nashville was huge. I mean, just it's a weapon, man, because Rodgers is so good at identifying those one-on-ones and getting the ball out fast to that.
Just keep him healthy.
J-Quest says, love Kevin. Glad to see Kevin dry instead of dripping wet at training camp.
They were out to get me that day. I'm still convinced.
Dixon with a super chat. Thank you, Dixon. Where is the Charles Gorman? Charles has not called the show this week, so I'm not sure. I can't report on his whereabouts.
It's funny. I always see the Charles Gorman clips on. I follow the Oscar the Grouch page on Instagram. I always see the clips with him popping up on there. Freaking hysterical.
Charles is one of the greats, and I will tell everyone this: if you're a subscriber or an Asmaniac, I should say, you'll be able to watch Best of the Jake Asman Show. I think I'm gonna release that show Sunday morning as a pregame for Jets Broncos to give you guys something funny to laugh at. So that will be available for all channel members. But for those of you who want a little Charles Gorman, right? You're thinking, man, he hasn't called in all week. I miss him. Here's a little Gorman for everyone out there from Best of Episode 8.
Just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Yeah. There you go.
That's just wrong. Oh my god.
A little Charles Gorman for you.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Hector says, I hope Saleh doesn't start with this vanilla bleep and letting the Broncos hang around. I think they should come out aggressive like they were against New England. I think that's the right approach against a rookie quarterback.
No, absolutely. Same game plan. You got to blitz. You got to throw to set up the run. I just think the Broncos are going to keep it closer. I mean, their run defense is pretty solid. They have a decent pass rush, decent offensive line. So I think it's going to be much closer than people expect.
Yeah, and it's going to be on the Jets to, build that lead again. Not just show up and think, oh, we're going to win because, we're world beaters now. Like, that's why I think having Rodgers is great because he kind of keeps everyone in check.
Yes. That's the kind of leadership we need.
Yeah, like the comment he made after the game of just like, we expect to win, now we got to learn to expect to dominate. Like, it's a great quote.
That's what they haven't had in that locker room for so many years, unfortunately.
Reports from Rick Kent say that Charles did a 2-hour live stream on his channel yesterday.
He's got his own channel?
Oh, yeah.
Got to check that out.
Have you ever been invited on the Bobby Midnight Show?
I have not.
Well, get ready.
Uh-oh.
Because you will.
Sure, that's an experience.
Robert Saleh, speaking in his final press conference before the game Sunday, he just said moments ago that they should know more about C.J. Mosley's status by the end of today. I don't think he's going to play Sunday, do you?
No. The defense already looks so much faster with Sherwood out there. I don't think there's any reason to try to push it with him or with Morgan Moses.
I agree. I think when it comes to Mosley, you want him back, but you don't want him back until he's truly 100%. He's 32. You already mentioned it. Sherwood is certainly playing well, as his replacement thus far. And if you can't beat the Broncos without C.J. Mosley, how good are you anyway? Like, they should be able to win this game. And if Mosley plays in London, great. If not, you want him back for that Monday night against Josh Allen, where that defense is they've owned them at times. They're going to need to get everyone on the right spot to continue to, play well against him. You need Mosley out there captaining the ship for that game.
No, you're absolutely right. That should be the target date. You don't need him this week. You don't need him for the Vikings. Have him ready for Buffalo.
Jay writes in, Asmania spawns many channels, like the Shanahan coaching tree. There's been a lot of spin-off shows from this show, Kevin. You're going to be invited, I'm sure, on all of them.
Can't wait.
We got Bobby Midnight. We got Charles Gorman. We got VR and Johnny do a show every Friday night called The 411. Johnny and Snowball do a game show on Sunday that always features a bunch of Asmaniacs as contestants.
Surprised V-Man doesn't have his own show yet.
That's coming.
I thought it was a couple of years ago. It still hasn't yet.
Yeah, no, you make a great point. Yeah, I think the thing is with V-Man is obviously, he could talk and he has great insight, but he's on the campaign trail right now.
We now go live to our political expert, Vincent.
You engage and support a party that doesn't do jack shit. You want to see a real third party in action?
Helping us change the world. Thank you, V-Man.
So that's probably why the channel hasn't launched yet.
That makes a lot of sense. That puts it all into perspective.
JT with a super chat, an Asmaniac super chat. He says the Asmaniac community is like no other. Amen. Amen. We got the best fans, best listeners. I mean, always grateful for everyone who tunes in. Brian with a super chat. Two of my favorite Jet brothers. Keep up the great work, fellas. See y'all at the tailgate. Jets for life. Amen, man. This fan base is ready.
Got to meet Brian on Thursday night. Awesome dude.
Shout out to you, Brian. Let's see. Dana says V-Man knows how to pick his spots. No oversaturation. It's true. There's an art to calling into this show.
You can call it that.
Rick says if V-Man did a show, he'd wind up on the FBI watch list. You could probably argue that, maybe. Jordan,
he have a strong following in Puerto Rico, though.
He would. Definitely would. Jordan says, would love to see Brees and Allen do what A-Chain and Mostert did to Denver last year. You want the Jets to score 70 points? Yeah.
That would be nice.
I'll take that. I'll take half of that and call that a win. I mean, what is the number that the Jets score that you're very confident they win the game? Like I say, pick the score and you guarantee the Jets win.
Honestly, I think 24 would do it.
I think so too. I think 20 might do it, to be honest, but 24 to be safe.
You might be right.
I think if the Jets get to 20, they win. But I think if they get to 23 or more, they're definitely winning.
Yeah.
I just don't see Denver being able to score 3 touchdowns on this defense.
No, they don't have the firepower. Unless the Jets turn the ball over, some special teams mishaps or something like that, something crazy, then no, they shouldn't put up more than 20 points.
Correct. If the Jets play a clean game, I mean, by accident, they should win. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We got open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Kevin, you've been following this team a long time. If they get to 3-1 for the first time since 2015, going to London, what have you thought about how you would feel that whole week leading up to it? Because it'd be uncharted territory for a Jet team to be 3-1 for the first time in 10 seasons.
Honestly, I don't know if it would be much different than how I felt leaving that building Thursday night. Like, that was the most at peace I think I've been with the team, at least since they've been in that building, if not since probably Rex Ryan 2010. Actually, that was the first year in that building. So yeah, I mean, that was the last time that I felt this good, this optimistic about not just this season, but also the direction moving forward. If we can get a couple good years here with Aaron Rodgers, I think this young core would ultimately want to stay together, kind of build on their legacy here. So, like, this is everything. Having Rodgers be vintage Aaron Rodgers, that makes so many possibilities happen. So I don't think it's going to change too much week to week. Like, my bar is already set at this should be a Super Bowl team.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, next up on the Gustbuster Hotline is someone who's gifted 10 memberships so far today. The great Dre is next. Hello, Dre.
What's up, my brothers? I apologize. I'm a little dark right now. I jumped into a quiet office so that I could say what I had to say. I was about to turn on the light. So if you give me 1 minute, I'll turn on the light so you can see me better.
All right, you turn on the light, Dre. Here we go. Leaving the darkness retreat.
There we go.
Okay, Jet fans, welcome back to the program. We are super excited. Rodgers is gonna have an amazing, but I think it's gonna be Rodgers' breakout game because they want to talk about the corners and everything like that. And I'm not confident. I'm hoping that Garrett has his breakout game tonight this weekend. Because if he does, then it's like, oh, Patrick Surtain, this, and this, and it kind of just goes more to talk about Garrett's, mystique and aura and how amazing of a wide receiver he actually is. But even if that doesn't happen, I would be happy if the Broncos time of possession is negative 10 minutes and we get time back from the time that we lost from the 49ers and things like that. But I think this is going to be one of those statement games. I wanted to see scorched earth Aaron Rodgers. I think we get that game. But if not, we still have the killer bees. Our running game is have the ball all the time. We back?
Dre, that office a little rough on the connection, huh? Let me see if we can get it back. Hold on. Dre?
Okay. Yep. They're trying to shut me down. This is the Broncos fans trying to keep me from talking.
I miss your desk setup, Dre. I miss when your coworkers could hear you give Jets takes in the middle of the day.
I miss those days too. But unfortunately, there's a regime change and stuff like that. So, and they're monitoring me now. So I kind of have to disappear.
Well, speaking of disappearing, you did exactly that. Dre, I don't think it's going to work for you, man. We got to get you
I wanted to ask him too
hotline.
about that Rodgers breakout comment. Are we talking about greater numbers than what he did last week? Because I don't see that happening this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dre gave us the 4 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers super chat earlier. 253 touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, I think the breakout was last week. I think Rodgers will play very well on Sunday, though.
Yeah,
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a call from Dre right there. The big fella with a super chat. Is there any advice that it's not Reddick's agent, or is there any truth that it's not Reddick's agent, but his dad that's giving him bad financial advice? I think that's just speculation. I don't know if there's any concrete report on that.
Do you think he actually fired his agent, or do you think that was Rodgers just kind of joking around on the McAfee show?
Yeah, I think Rodgers was just trolling. I heard Brian Costello say on his podcast with the Post that Tory Dandy still represents Hassan Reddick. And Costello basically said it's Reddick making this decision. Tory Dandy wouldn't be advising him to do what he's doing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's stupid. He's lost half his contract already.
Yeah. Hassan Reddick, not very bright. No other way to say it. Derek, super chat, cuts the line. Jake, thoughts on the Jets team shop adding Reddick's jersey yesterday, then taking it down. Also, are they ever going to do anything about our field? As far as the field goes, no. And as far as the jersey with Reddick yesterday, So I think someone was just maybe trolling, or that was a mistake. I don't know if it has any meaning whatsoever.
With the field, though, isn't that like partly on the Giants too? Like, don't the Jets
Yes.
want to make changes and the Giants don't? So
It's both of them, yeah.
I didn't hear about the Reddick jersey thing though.
So yesterday, Hassan Reddick's jersey was listed on the Jet team website under new arrivals.
Really?
Like you could buy it, yeah. And then it was taken down after a couple hours.
It's weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, he has called in, but we're not sure if he's actually there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will all find out together if we could hear from the great, the amazing. I'm filibustering because I can't find the clip. Mr. Bonesy.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Bonesy.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you all right.
Is it clear?
Yeah, so far.
Wow. So, I mean, finally, I haven't called in a couple days since you said, Mr. Bonesy, go get a damn new phone, you potato head.
Well, to be fair, your phone is a potato phone. I didn't call you a potato head.
I'm just messing. I'm just joshing.
Now, did you get a new phone though? Is this the new phone?
I did. This is a brand new phone. So
not an iPhone though.
Not an iPhone. Yeah. I'm a Samsung guy. Listen, man, I'm really big into doing recordings and stuff. Unless I get a brand new iPhone, I can't even hit pause when I'm recording on an iPhone. Like, why? Why can't I hit pause while I'm recording?
Android. Let's go.
Anyway, you know, I've really just been soaking in what we witnessed last Thursday. Every time you listen to these interviews, I fall deeper in love with Joe Douglas than I already am, which isn't really possible, but I love just hearing how level-headed everybody is. I feel like Rodgers' focus is really going to just sink into every guy we have on the team, and everyone's buying in. You can feel the energy. You can feel it. Watching One Jets drive last night was just a great reminder of how it feels to have a quarterback. We've all been waiting almost 2 years to see that. Even the Tennessee game, the second half was fantastic as well. But watching him last Thursday orchestrate the offense and just coming out and passing, 7 times to start the game and having the confidence and the ability to do that, it's just, I don't want to overreact because it's so early, but it does feel good that everything right now is besides Jermaine going down and Moses getting a little beat up. We're just getting to see all the young youth we have on the team that developed, watching Sherwood just command the huddle and call the plays and watching. We didn't blitz for 4 years, and we just came. Even Saleh said it in his presser. People didn't think we could do that. We just had to show you that we could still do everything. We came out and we brought the house. And I feel like now that we have that in our bag, you can't just think we're going to sit and cover 2 show all game and play the same, no explosive plays, run the ball nice, kill us on screens crap. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling good, man. Against Denver, they got a good win. But I last year you said the same exact thing, that it was good Denver got that win right before they played us out of the way so that they can, come back down to earth against us. And that was exactly what happened. And if we just come out and don't turn the ball over, let Nix make his mistakes, and we can't lose with Nix beating us with his legs. I feel like that happens a lot. Watching Levis keep breaking that pocket, almost getting sacked and then running for 20. We got to stop that shit,
Someone's calling. Mr. Bonesy, is that Bobby Midnight checking in?
It is not Bobby. Bobby has not phone bombed me in a minute. Joe Bonesy got it because he hears me spitting the good Jets gospel back here. So, but I'm glad I got a new phone. Now I can start bothering you and calling you in again every day. Because I've literally been, and we've been a little busy at work. Fourth quarter of the year, we start getting crazy. The foreigners start coming. So, I'm always listening, though. So.
Like Craig in Australia. I heard he stopped by.
Craig in Australia stopped by before he left. Gary stopped by yesterday and brought cannolis.
How did you not post pictures of that?
I know. I have to post a picture in our Discord. It happened late yesterday after the show. So
I need to see that. You and Gary with cannolis,
Yep.
Incredible.
He brought, and they were delicious.
Are you working tomorrow, Bonesy?
What's up?
Are you working tomorrow?
No, I'm off tomorrow. It's my son's first soccer game.
So
I
was gonna say, 'cause you could stop by Pioneers if you were working.
I know, man. Gary's going too. He was telling me that's why he's around, because he's for boxing, but he said he's definitely stopping by. I'm gonna have a little FOMO tomorrow, but I'm going to Disney World next week with the family for a couple days. So I'm going on vacation. I leave Tuesday. So
wow.
So perfectly, I get to watch Minnesota 9:30 while I'm in Florida. So I still get it on the TV. I don't have to worry about nothing. It'll be on NFL Network. So I'm hyped, baby. Let's go.
That's beautiful. Before you go, Dre says it was me calling Bonesy.
Why didn't Joe tell me, though? That would have been great.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
I'm just glad I sound good. Kev, I sound good, right?
No, you sound perfect.
Awesome. Now I'm back. Bonesy's back, baby. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Jets. I don't care about the customers in the store. Let's go. Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonesy.
You get a lot of people calling from work.
This is just no one works. I'm convinced. No one actually works. The big fella with a super chat, a $20 super chat. Are you kidding me? Let's go. Thank you to the big fella, one of the all-time greats. Watching the Giants game last night, Dallas had the same stack-the-box defense they used against Zach. They stopped the run. We're okay letting Jones beat him. By the way, Dable should have gone for it on 4th and goal. I thought Dable coached scared last night, big fella. I'm with you. You're a big underdog. You haven't beaten this team in forever. You got to play to win, not settling for field goals. So I didn't like that either. And Daniel Jones between the 20s was pretty good, but you got to score touchdowns to win. And when they got in the red zone, they couldn't find the end zone. That's the difference right there.
Skinny Dable is becoming like Skinny Rex, unfortunately.
Losing that brash and bravado that allowed success early.
But that right there, that should be our formula also for Sunday against Knicks. Stack the box, put the ball in his hand, make him beat you.
Because seriously, I know Denver's got better weapons than the Patriots do, but I'll live and die with my corners against their weapons and putting some extra pressure on Bo Nix.
Sutton's good, but he's not a number one.
Sauce will blanket him. Reed could cover him. They'll be fine. Chef Kevin in the house. The great Chef Kevin was with Chef Kevin Thursday last week. Then he came out to the event I did with Beningo last Friday. Jake, great stuff as always. I met Kevin at Jets training camp. Good dude and appreciate his takes. Who will be the big X factor on defense against Denver? Kevin, who's the big X factor on the defense this week?
I think it might actually be Sauce. I think he's due for one of those big time games. I think he's due for an interception. I could see him having a big day.
Keith Best writes in, Bonesy, come down to West Palm Beach for dinner. Pig Beach Restaurant. All right, Bonesy. If you want to have dinner with Keith Best, the offer is on the table. Let's see. Purple Belt Mike says, all that matters is the JETS. Mike's another guy. He doesn't actually work. I love it. He has a great job. I won't reveal what it is, but the man, his job is to watch the Jake Asman show and be a Jet fan. Ladies and gentlemen, one last call with our guy Kevin here. Let's say hello to Rob, the Jet fan. What's up, Rob?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Hey, Kevin. How are you, buddy? First
Good,
time.
man. How are you?
Quick question, Kev. Do you see it in Aaron Rodgers that he still seeks a revenge game here for what obviously the coach said about Hackett, or do you think they're kind of beyond that point?
In the back of his mind, again, that's just the kind of guy he is. I'm sure to some extent he's a little bit motivated, but I just think the team itself has greater goals than beyond just Denver. So, no, I don't think it's a factor going into this week at all.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I tell you, after seeing the other highlights and seeing both men hugging Aaron Rodgers and Saleh, I kind of knew that was a nothing burger there. I didn't really think that they were mad at each other. They just try to create drama, which is BS. But I just loved what Aaron said. Aaron's walking through the locker room. Not bad for a 40-year-old, huh? And I was just cracking up. Yeah, he is. I love it. I mean, we've not had a quarterback like this I think, ever, to be honest with you. And I'm just so happy, other than maybe Joe Namath, but, he's just so confident in the right way. And
that rubs off, too. That rubs off on everybody else in that locker room.
All that crap, Kevin, that he's bad for the team and, people don't like him and stuff. It's such just total BS. I mean, it's just getting exposed, right? It's getting exposed, and all these idiot cow turd and all these other Canty and all these people don't have a leg to stand on because he is really putting them in place right now. I'm loving this.
You could see it back in training camp. I mean, these guys grew up watching him. They idolize him. It couldn't be further from the truth that there's, any kind of disarray in the locker room or that he's selfish. It's completely the opposite. It's BS, right?
And then like Tippmann, why are you guys doing this and why are you guys so good against this? And he just says Aaron Rodgers. It tells a story right there. Like people, but you'll never get that rebuttal from anyone else. They'll never mention it because they want their clicks and stuff because they got to be different. But I'm so happy. My prediction is 31-13. I think the Jets are going to roll again. They should not have a problem with this team. We have the roster. We have Aaron Rodgers. There's no way we're losing this game. I'm hyped up, and I'm not overlooking this game, but Minnesota is more in my head that's going to be tougher because they do have a really good team, Minnesota.
Yeah, good call, Rob. I actually think the Packers are a play this week if Jordan Love's back. Like Minnesota's playing a little above their skis. They're a dominant home team, especially with that defense. But on the road at Lambeau, I can see the Packers winning that game this week. So I think Minnesota could be coming off a loss into that London game.
Hard to picture them starting off 4-0. Same thing with the Steelers. That's kind of why I like the Colts a little bit this week also.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. All right, Kevin, where can people find you for those who maybe aren't aware of the greatness you bring to this fan base?
Far from that, but no, you guys can follow at Talk Jets Radio. I'm usually on the Instagram account, posting some videos on Twitter. We do our live streams every Monday. I'm pretty sure we'll be live on Sunday. I have 2 tickets, but I feel like I just need a little bit of a break to kind of reset a little bit. So I'm probably just going to stay home, watch the game with Tyson. So we'll be on Sunday watching there.
Are you selling your tickets?
Probably, yes.
Ah,
most likely.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I got to decide very soon and let Tyson know if I'm going to be on. So
that's beautiful. Well, Kevin, I'll be tuned in. You're the man. Thanks for hopping on a Football Friday.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Kevin Sirkin joining us on the Jake Asman Show here. Normally, Fireman Ed joins us at 10 a.m. on Fridays. Ed's coming back from a little vacation here, so we rescheduled him to tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So Fireman Ed Friday will be Fireman Ed Saturday tomorrow at 11. So a little Saturday show. And Boy Green, who normally joins us Fridays at 4, he should be on this afternoon. He has something that might come up. So check the Discord if you want to get an accurate start time for when we'll go live for our second stream on the day. If you're tuned in live right now, please click that like button and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We got a lot I still want to get into here on the show. I certainly want to hear from more of you. So if you want to call in, you certainly can. But since I have all these great clips I want to share from Best of Jake Asman Show, episode 8, let's give you guys another one, and then we'll get right back to your awesome calls.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is an absolute legend and someone that fans of the Bobby Midnight program know oh so well.
She's from Australia, the golden blonde beauty. Can't live without her, that girl makes me freaky. Sarah the angel is everyone's sweetie. If she dumps her husband, I'll be her next beefy. Sarah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Now, I have a surprise for you.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Sarah's coworker, Craig, also in Australia. Craig sent me a photo here, and full disclosure, I haven't seen it myself yet. I'm just uploading it now, so I'm going to put it up on the screen. Craig insists that we have you break this photo down live on the air. So, Sarah, break this down for us.
It was a good night.
Bottom left in particular, what exactly is happening?
That's the one. That's our esteemed colleague, Mario. He likes the ladies, let's put it that way. And they're a fan of him too.
Now, Sarah, I have to do it because when things like this occur on the show, there's only one thing I could play.
I like good-looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man.
In all fairness, I'm just posing. Mario's the one doing the
biting. I haven't looked at the chat yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of freaky that needs to be calmed down at this point. We hear there's someone in an orange lawn chair on their way to Australia. Oh no!
Yeah, Mario better watch his PQs if I come over there and make some spaghetti sauce out of him. Mario, you're in trouble. My Sarah, you don't embarrass her like that, putting your face to her butt cheeks. That's not good. That is disgusting, Mario. He probably was like 3 sheets to the wind when he did it. So I might give him a pass for that.
It was more than 3. How are you even going to explain this to Mario?
Oh, I don't know.
He better have a good explanation, I tell you that much. Or he has to deal with the wrath of Bobby.
Yeah. I'll be letting the feds know to keep an eye on the border for a guy from Vermont with an orange lawn chair.
And I'm going to slam my chair over his head.
Can we organize that?
Let me do my show live from whatever work function this thing is. My God.
Calm your freaky down, Bobby.
Bobby, what did you make your name? Get away from her butt, says.
Yeah, I know who did that. That was
any comments I could make.
Sarah, what if I put this on a T-shirt in the merch store? How would you feel about that?
No, you better not.
Jake, if you did that, you'd be rich. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Do you think Mario would buy one?
Everyone would buy one.
I pre-ordered #Sarah Booty.
Well, this was a tremendous first call from Sarah on the show. We accomplished a lot, I feel like. I'm going to play Sarah off the only way I know how. Ladies and gentlemen, the rousing rendition of Oh Bubby.
Hey guys, guess who's with me now?
Oh, Bubby.
It's the girl who makes my freaky roll.
Oh, Bubby.
She's the only one I let sit on my chair.
Oh, Bubby.
With her beautiful face and her long blonde hair.
Oh, Bubby. I mean, you know I'd stop by more often if you clean up this mess.
Oh, Sarah.
Is that an old ham sandwich over there, Bubby?
Yes, Sarah.
Do you think I'm prettier than 3D Gary, Bubby?
Of course, Sarah.
Because you said he's good looking with his long, sweet hair.
Oh, Sarah. I thought it was his wife.
Show's not over, but that photo's too funny to not show another time. Oh, my God. What type of company are Craig and Sarah working for? What type of work function is this? I think we got our next emoji, that bottom left photo. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my goodness. What a moment in time. Best of episode 8 will be available very, very soon.
How do you feel about your matchup with Charles Gorman?
Oh, looks like a cartoon thing. He has good moves.
All right. Let's mix in a couple more calls here for anyone who wants in. I do have open phone lines if you want to get your point heard on the Jake Asman Show here on a Football Friday. Let's say hello to Keith Best, who's next. Hey, Keith.
Oh, God, Jake. Sorry about yesterday. We had the hurricane roll through, and the internet was like up and down, up and down, up and down.
You're good, Keith. Everything okay? Did you get hit hard?
Yeah, everything's good. I got your T-shirt on today.
I love it.
I love it. Jake Asman Show. I was talking yesterday about Tyler, how good he played in the game. Sherwood too. These guys rolled up to when the people fell down. I'm not talking about like people out for the year, but they had an injury, and we filled the void. And I don't know if we're going to see a lot of games like what we just saw this past Thursday. I hope that I'm taking on this game right now for Denver. I think we beat them. And I can't sit bluntly about that because, they can come at and whip our ass. I do consume myself with the integrity of being able to take on the Vikings in, with the travel schedule and all that stuff. But we just proved that we go 2-1 in 11 days in 3 games, and crazy. I'm just very blessed to be able to get on here. You let me on here. Bobby needs to Bobby, you need to go visit Sarah in Australia and have some quality time without being on a TV screen and sitting down with each other. And Bonesy, you're coming down. Listen to me. This is what I'm going to say, and I'll shut up. Bonesy, you're coming down to Disney. You're going to go to Orlando. You can get on the Bright Line and come down here and visit about 1 million Jets fans here in West Palm Beach, Delray. Crazy. It's crazy the amount down here. I mean, my buddy watched the podcast the other day, and he was like, dude, this is insane. You're down here talking on Jake's show in New York, and it's like all these people are like, I'll tell you, I just brought up to Bonesy. I said, come down, I'll take you out to dinner at a place called Big Beach. That's where we watched the Thursday night game. And I watched with my Rodgers jersey on, and I watched with about 20 people that had Teo, the number 1 jersey for the Dolphins on, even though he's gone. Who knows if he's gone for the year or not. But I looked at all of you guys and I said, see ya. And it was just a good feeling from being in Dolphinsville down here. I'm in West Palm Beach. I'm in Dolphinsville to have that comfort zone of gratitude that says, we're beating your ass this year. Okay? That's enough out of me.
I love it. I love it, Keith. I appreciate you, man. Great shirt. And hey, if the Jets won there on Thursday when you were there, maybe you got to go back for all the Jet games. Keith Best, everybody. One of the greats. Let's see here. Some comments coming in. Jeffrey says, we're all blessed to know you, Mr. Best. Absolutely. Three Siblings says, any team can be beat. Yeah, look, the Jets can't overlook Denver, but unless the Jets turn it over, obviously if there's a catastrophic injury, like I don't see how Denver wins with Bo Nix. I mean, unless Bo Nix all of a sudden plays like Jaden Daniels did on Monday, I don't see it. Like I think the Jets are better by a lot. They're home. They're well rested. Denver doesn't have the weapons, I think, to go up and down the field. And I just don't see the Jets, even if they don't play great offensively, still not being able to score at least 20 points. You know, I see this being like 27-10 Jets, 27-13. Like I just don't see it with Denver. You got to keep Nix in the pocket. You don't want him running all around. But I feel good. Barney with a super chat. Anyone worried about Garrett Wilson's headspace? No. I'm not. He'll be fine. He's got Aaron Rodgers. It's been 3 games. Rick says the Jets defense usually destroys rookie quarterbacks. Off the top of my head, how many times have the Jets faced a rookie quarterback in recent years? Last year they did against Stroud. They made him look bad. I'm trying to think, were there any other games against rookies last year? Aiden O'Connell was a rookie. I mean, the defense dominated that game. They should have won. That was the Raider game. Am I missing any games from last year against rookies? Stroud and O'Connell are the only two that immediately came to mind. I guess Tommy DeVito, technically. Right? That was like, he was a third stringer coming in a monsoon, making his debut after Tyrod got hurt in that game. I think those are the only 3 I could think of from last year. I mean, they should be able to make Bo Nix look bad. I mean, the guy hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet this year. Will Parkinson, in fact, just gave a pretty good stat I saw on Twitter. Let me pull it up for you guys. So, according to Will, Bo Nix versus pressure this season is 17 of 38 for 170 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks. The Jets, as I mentioned earlier, have the highest pressure rate per snap in the league at 44.7%. So I think it's a good matchup for the Jets. I really do. Obviously, if they lose this game, the season's not over. You're 2-2, but like win this game and get to 3-1. You're better than Denver. You're at home. Get it done. That's the bottom line. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is in New York. I will be apparently seeing him tomorrow. We say hello to Gary, who's up next on the show. Hello, Gary.
I'm going to try to make it tomorrow. I still got to change my flight tomorrow, which shouldn't be a problem, but it's not 100%. I still need to make sure there's an open flight on Delta later in the day.
Let's go. Make the switch right now. What are you waiting for?
That's the missus' job. I can't be doing like that type of stuff. I mean, you'll see when you get married. I don't look if the tire needs a changing or there's a hole in the wall. That's me. Things like that.
You're saying when I get married, my wife would then book my plane travels every time.
All your travel. First, yeah, because she's already she knows your schedule better than you do, and like your hotel, she's gonna find a better hotel closer to the location where you need to be for half the price. Because when you book a hotel, you just search for a hotel. And you're like, all right, good, that's fine, I guess, right? The missus will find a 3 times better hotel for half the price across the street from where you need to be. So it's just better to let her do all of it. And it's just one less thing you have to do.
All right. Now, look, Gary, you're obviously a marriage expert, so I defer to you.
No, Tom Ace is apparently the woman expert. He knows how to chill women down when they're not talking to you. So I would confirm that with Tom Ace, but I think I'm giving you good advice.
Tom Ace says Gary does not do logistics.
No, I don't do. It's for the missus. First of all, like women just multitask better than men. I can do one thing at a time. If you give me 2, I'm gonna forget the first thing and do neither of them. So it just makes more sense to let everyone play their position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody play their position.
Chef Kevin agrees with you. Wow.
See, and that's another happily married man. I met his wife. Wonderful lady. Have
you had any New York pizza yet?
I did. I'm not feeling. I had pizza and cannoli yesterday. It was good, but I'm not feeling too well this morning. I'll probably eat some more pizza today.
So what fight are you in town for tonight? It's at MSG?
Yeah. Xander Zayas and Damian Sosa.
All right.
Is V-Man going? Has V-Man called in today?
He did call in earlier. He didn't allude to going to a fight tonight.
I missed V-Man's call.
R&R wants to know, does your wife also tie your shoes or do you use Velcro shoes?
I can tie my own shoes, all right? I can tie my own shoes.
Peter says, Gary, some great gas station pizza here.
I've been to Johnny's over by where Peter Castro lives. That's top notch. That's top shelf. That's borderline top 10 pizza in New York. It's really good.
Go to Jeffrey Nails. Go to John's on Bleecker today.
I've had John's on Bleecker. It's really good. But people say it's like the best pizza on earth. I don't see it like that good. It's good. It's really good. Like it's a quality 8.5 slice. But some people say it's like the best pizza in the world. I don't see it like that. Is that your joint?
John's on Bleecker Street is in your universe, it'd be the Brock Bowers of pizza places.
I've had it. Yeah, it's top shelf. There are other places I like better. I'll say that. It's really good. I would never complain about it.
Nate says Gary's coming to meet me at Sal and Carmine's later in my hood. Is this true?
Sure. I said I'm going to meet up with Nate if that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Yeah.
What time is the fight tonight?
The card starts at 6. The main event won't kick off till it's a top ranked card, so it probably won't kick off till close to midnight. But the card starts at 6, and then there's a guy fighting on the card that I'm involved with who will fight about 8:30 on ESPN Plus.
So you got some time, yeah.
Yeah. I'm in Queens, Howard Beach. I'm not far away.
Are you and Nate gonna argue about the Mikal Bridges trade if you guys hang out together?
I think we've moved on from the Mikal Bridges trade. Although I did want to bring this up. They had the Reddick jersey on the Jets website.
Yes.
About a month ago, when the Cam Johnson for Keldon Johnson trade rumors were really circulating, the Nets had It said Johnson 3. That's Keldon's number. They had that jersey on their team shop. They took it down immediately, too. It was up there for like half an hour, and they took it down. I don't know what that means. I know Keldon Johnson, we're both involved in a fire in San Antonio that he's got money invested in. He said, no, those rumors were real. I'm glad it didn't happen because he didn't want to leave San Antonio, but like they were real. So there might be something to this Reddick thing. Like he might be close. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just making things up. But if they put his jersey on, I don't know. Either someone's at the Jet website is trolling, or like maybe they're getting close to something. I don't know. Was there any rumors that he's talked to the Jets? Any progress?
No.
Nothing, right?
I think people are just speculating. I think someone was trolling or it was a mistake.
So, all right. I mean, look, it's not really going to matter for Denver, but there is going to get to a point where it is going to matter. You know, like we're still better with him than without him. So we need to figure out a way to get here. But it's almost like we just got to move on. Like we got to just prepare for life without him. You know, like when I was like 19, 20 years old, I got ghosted by my girlfriend after like 2 years of dating with her. I remember we used to always have Sunday dinner at my house.
We're getting deep here. Okay, here we go.
And my mom is like, "Is Kim coming over for dinner on Sunday? I haven't seen her in a few weeks." Like, I don't think so. And she's like, "Well, what's going on?" I'm like, I don't think we're together anymore. I'm not sure. She hasn't called me in like weeks. And she's like, "Oh, that's just kind of how you have to prepare for life." Like,
wait, what year was this?
So this is after my freshman year of college. So this was like 2002.
Okay, so like cell phones existed, but it's not like would you like text? Like
there was no texting really. There was really no texting at that time, right? I mean, there was no social media, so you couldn't follow her, right? Like I don't even think texting was around. I just
you dated this person for 2 years and then she just randomly ghosted you.
Yeah, so so my senior year of she was a year younger than me, so her last 2 years of high school. So it was my first year of college and senior year of high school. So those 2 years, I took her to her prom. Then I went back. This is the girl I told you about on your radio show that I had to for my prom. I had to cancel it because I had a boxing tournament last minute, and she didn't like that. But then I took her. Her prom was in April, and then I went back to school for like the last month of school at Hofstra, and then I came back from school and I just never heard from her again. Until I think it was like 3 years later, randomly, we're at a Texas Rangers game, and she's standing behind me. Like, how awkward is that, right? Like, oh, and like you can't. We're online. You can't go anywhere. So she's just like behind me for 15 minutes. Like, this is awkward.
I feel like you had to have missed some signs. Like, who just goes somewhere after 2 years?
Probably, right? Like, it was a 2-year relationship, right? So it's something. You know, we were young. I wasn't gonna marry her or anything, but
it's 2 years. You were with
I know.
someone.
Clearly, I'm not going to say when I was 19 years old, I was the best boyfriend in the world. I'm not going to, clearly I wasn't. It is what it is. But, but my point was you got to prepare. It's just, I don't know what's going on with that. So I have to assume, just like Reddick, that he's not going to be here. I just got to prepare for life without him now. That was the analogy.
I guess my question to you, based off what you shared, was the term ghosting around in 2002? What was it called back then? Not
really. That's what she ghosted me before that was even a thing. She ghosted me before it was cool. She just dumped me without me knowing, I guess. Like ghosting wasn't really a term back in 2002.
R goes, I'm shocked Gary didn't catch on to something. Joe Rod says she hit Gary with some jabs instead of a knockout punch. Tom wants to know, did you ask her where she's been for 3 years? Yeah, did you address it with her?
No, it was awkward. It was weird. Like, put yourself in that situation. You've been seeing this girl. You dated this girl for 2 years. You don't see her for like 3 years, and then she's just like behind you, standing behind you.
I would go up to her. I would be like,
"Are we still together tonight? What's?"
Well, I didn't know what we were gonna get with your call today, Gary, but I'm glad you made it. Welcome to New York, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Hopefully, I should be there for sure.
All right, go get him. All right,
later, Jake.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs. You can do them.
Now that was a Gary call right there. That was tremendous. What was ghosting called back in the day? Super chat from Mark. I think this will be big games for Conklin, Ruckert, and the Killer Bees. Wilson's time will be there in the future. This D is going to feast on Baby Bo. If there's one thing I'm confident in, it's the Jets defense playing well Sunday. Who's going to step up and be the offensive heroes? I think game by game, it's always potentially going to be different. I do see Conklin having another good game, though, because I think the middle of the field will be open. Denver now is without their leading tackler, Alex Singleton. He's done for the year with the ACL. That's a big loss for their defense. He wears the green dot. He calls the defense. I think the Jet D will play well. And I think Tyler Conklin will have another good game. One of my underdog picks, how about this for a transition, features Tyler Conklin. I shared this yesterday on the show. Right now, go sign up for Underdog. Download the Underdog app in the App Store and use promo code Asman to take advantage of the different specials they have for new customers. But this was my underdog pick that I shared on the program yesterday. I'm using the freebie with Patrick Mahomes. He'll go higher than his half-yard pick there. Mike Williams, higher than 2.5 receptions. I think he gets more involved this week. Tyler Conklin, higher than 23.5 receiving yards. I think Rodgers hits him a bunch of times over the middle of the field. And I think Brees is going to have a big long run this week, like the last 2 times he's faced Denver. So this is a $10 play over at Underdog for the chance to win $87. You can make the same pick or make your own picks when you download the Underdog app and start playing today. Use promo code Asman and take advantage of a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Shout out to Underdog for being a part of our program. Super chats continue to come through the pipeline here. This one's from Dre, who says, why do people keep thinking the Jets are giving up more than a field goal? Jets handle business. Rodgers keeps eyes on the prize. I agree. I think people are just nervous, right? Same old Jets, great win. They're going to come out flat and lose, or it's going to be tight. It's also the NFL. There's been a lot of wacky scores. You know, I just think the Jets are going to handle their business, though. I do. Maybe it's close for a half and they pull away in the second half, but I think the Jets win by at least 2 scores. Dre with another super chat. Dre, someone got paid today. My man, let's go. It was because Gary eats sticks on butter like candy bars, in reference to why Gary was ghosted. Look, maybe it didn't work for that woman, but his current wife must appreciate Gary eating sticks of butter like candy bars. This is Los writes in, Reddick for Huff Swap. Who says no? Glad to see McDonald thriving. I think the Jets might say no to that. I don't think they want to pay Bryce Huff at his current number. I don't know if the Eagles would do it either. Because is Hassan going to hold out and play for them? Like, if he would play for them on his current deal, I think the Eagles would do it. I don't think it will happen, but it's an interesting question. All right, one last call before we wrap. Let's say hello to a esteemed member of the 4% female demographic. Let's say hello to Jenergy, who's working from home today. Hello, Jenergy.
What up, guys? I haven't called in been a while.
Where have you been?
I've been watching Jets just like you. No, I was like, I wish Gary was still on because I had a nice little take to share with him that I wanted to challenge him on. I thought the 4%ers would be interested in hearing about what he said about women specifically on Bobby's show. I wrote it in the chat, of course. Yeah. So this was a couple weeks ago on Bobby's show. I was just talking about, I have my undergrad, working on my master's, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, wow, you're working on your master's? He's like, women aren't really that smart. So
Gary.
My mouth went.
Gary still thinks we live in like 1955.
I know. It's the it's Texas too. That's very they're super whatever. Very women stays at home and keep it all traditional, which completely. I was just like, I love Gary. Don't get me wrong. He's hilarious. He's great. He knows all about boxing, but that pissed me off. So I had to share that because I was like, oh, no. We're Gary. Gary, call back in.
Tom Ace wants to know, did you get your master's in stealing hearts?
Very cute. Stealing hearts. No. No, he's too much. But
Jay Graves goes, I could change a tire and patch a wall. I don't need no man. Jay
yes,
Graves.
Jay Graves, that's my girl. We were doing Solomon Thomas body rolls at the T Squared. That's why I did a body roll. I just realized I was like, we were going shots, and I was like, oh wait, let me do a body roll. I was like, where? Because I do body rolls sometimes when I'm dancing, but I was like, Saleh did a body roll during one of those games. King, I see you. I'm glad you're okay. King said, no hurricane gonna knock me down.
Oh Lord, my freaky is out of control again.
You crazy. You were too much. But yeah, I had to call because I had to share that because women, we are very freaking smart. Smarter than men, actually. And yes, I take care of myself. I don't need nobody to renew my membership because I'm a super maniac who can afford my own. So that's it. Bye. Have a good one.
Genergy, you're one of the all-time greats. What a call. Bad job by Gary. John with a super chat. BR reported Reddick open to being traded back to Philly. I think they're just taking what Samini said on his podcast that a little birdie told him Reddick would be open to going back to Philly. It's not going to happen, though. I don't see why Philly would take him back. If they give the Jets back Huff, can they pay some of Huff's contract? Ladies and gentlemen, comments, questions, super chats. You guys were awesome today. Thank you for that. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Big shout out to everyone coming out the Pioneers tomorrow. I'll be hanging out with Green Bean, Ryan, and Matt at their fan meetup at 3 o'clock. I'll be back in the afternoon. It should be Boy Green, but he's going to let me know in a couple hours, and I'll confirm that in the Discord. Plus, if we don't get Boy Green, I'll be doing a normal show anyway. So we'll be live in that 4 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that coming up. Hope everyone has a great Friday. If you don't hear from me, we'll be live tomorrow with Fireman Ed at 11 a.m. Jet fans, you guys are the greatest. Can't say that enough. Sounds like Gary's in a lot of you-know-what. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Go Jets.
And I just saw a big fella's tweet. So I'm 5'11", 180 pounds, and I wear a large. And you're telling me he's got me by 100 pounds, and he only wears an extra large?
Gary, what do you care about what the fuck I'm wearing, bro?
Look, I'm a man of logic and reason. I'm 5'11", 180. I wear a large. You're 6'5".
Why does this guy care about what I'm wearing? It makes no sense. Why do you care? Why
You
do
don't
you
watch
care?
Curb Your Enthusiasm and someone says something like suspicious to Larry to kind of give him that look like, okay.
How is this suspicious, bro? What are you talking about?
6'4", 280. That's a big fella.
Dude, if I wore a 2X, it would be baggy on me because my body is different. Okay, not everybody's built the same.
I understand, but if you're 6'4", 280, that ain't all in your legs, bro. 6'4", 280 is a big boy.
I don't know why you give a shit what I look like. You got me a little upset right now, man.
I didn't mean to get you upset, big fella. Gary, why do you make fun of Big Fella and his shirt? Maybe you're a weird person, a weird guy. A wiggle, beagle, beagle, deagle, deagle, beagle, deagle, deagle.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Very good looking.